In this video segment, we will review the safety tips while we are on our bikes. First up are the 3 keys to biking.
Now that we have learned how to be safe before we ride, it is now time to review how we can be safe when we go out for a ride. The 3 keys to biking are 3 important actions that we want to always do while we are on our bikes.
Key number 1 is to always keep our eyes up. This is important for us so we can always see what's coming up ahead of us. Many people have a bad habit of looking directly in front at their tires as they are riding. If we keep our eyes up, we will be able to see things that come toward us so we can avoid hitting them. Potholes, tree roots, rocks, even curbs can be avoided when we keep our eyes forward.
The next key to biking is keeping our fingers on our brakes at all times. This is extremely important because our brakes will help us stop or slow down while we are moving forward. We want to make sure to use only 2 or 1 finger on our brakes. This will allow us to keep a good grip on our handlebars with our other fingers. If you are riding a bike with coaster brakes or pedal brakes, we will give you a good tip to braking in the next key to biking.
The last key to biking is to have level pedals. Level pedals means to keep your pedals level with the ground. A lot of kids want to ride with 1 foot up and 1 foot down. This is a bad idea because your pedal is so low it could hit items on the ground like rocks, roots, or curbs. Keeping your pedals level will also help students who are using coaster brakes or pedal brakes. If you keep your pedals level, you'll be able to brake quicker and under control.
To review, our 3 keys to biking are eyes forward, fingers on your brakes, and level pedals.
When out on your bike, there are many types of roads and paths you may encounter. Within and around Colorado Springs, you might see wide, high-speed roads, quiet neighborhood streets, bike lanes, multi-use paths, and single-track trails.
Arterials are streets like Nevada Avenue or Union Boulevard with a lot of fast-moving traffic lines. You should avoid these if you can or stick to the sidewalk if you have to ride on these streets.
Neighborhood streets are often narrow with slow-moving traffic. Sometimes they will have signs calling it a bike route or painted sharrows. Depending on your age and whether you're riding with a group or by yourself, it might be best to ride on the street or on the sidewalk. When riding on the street here, it is acceptable to take the lane since car traffic should be low and slow. Taking the lane makes you more visible to car drivers.
Colorado Springs has a growing network of bike lanes in many forms. Most of them are painted lanes right next to the travel line. Others are buffered from cars with more paint, and some are even protected from traffic with plastic posts or parked cars. If you feel unsafe while riding on the street, move to the sidewalk to be sure.
The city also has a number of paved or gravel trails where only people walking and biking are allowed. These include places like the Pikes Peak Greenway or Shook's Run Trail and are usually the safest places to ride a bike.
We are very lucky to live in a place with so many fun trails. Mountain bike trails can be found in Palmer Park, U Valley, Cheyenne Canyon, and other areas. Sometimes there might be obstacles like rocks, roots, or even bumps. Single track means the trail is too narrow to ride side by side. It also is too narrow on single track to pass. So you must be careful as riders or walkers could be coming from the opposite direction. How we behave while riding our bikes is called etiquette. Etiquette is very important because it helps us be safe around other riders, cars, trucks, or runners or hikers, and even horses.
Today we will discuss etiquette on the road or bike path and etiquette on trails. First up, we will discuss etiquette on the road or sidewalk.
Let's start by talking about riding on the road. When we are riding on the road, we want to make sure we are riding on the right side of the road. Some roads have bike lanes for us to ride and make sure that cars and trucks give us space. Being on the right side of the road allows cars to pass us safely on the left side. We also want to use hand signals while we are riding on the road. That will be covered in the next segment.
Sometimes we can ride on concrete bike paths. Here, we use the same etiquette as if we were on the road. Stay on the right side of the path in a single file line with one bike length between each rider. If we ride too close together, we might run into the rider in front of us if they come to a quick stop. If you come up to someone who is riding slower, running or walking, it is important to pass them using proper etiquette. To pass, let the person who you are passing know that you are coming by saying, "On your left." Some people even have a bell to notify people as they are passing. Then we pass them on the left side and go directly back to the right side of the street or path.
When we are riding our bikes, we are considered as a vehicle, like cars. We have to follow the same rules like using turn signals.
When you want to turn left, point your left arm straight up and out to the side like this. We also use our left arm to signal right by holding it out and up to make a right angle, like this.
When we are riding in a group, it is also good to point out and call out anything that might be hazardous. When we are coming up to a stop, yell, "Stopping!" and stick out your left arm pointed down. If you see a pothole, glass, or any other debris on the road, point it out and call out the name of the object. Now we will talk about some etiquette while we are riding on the single track or trails. Trails are all around Colorado Springs, and we have to beware about our etiquette, just like when we are riding on the road. There are 3 things to remember while we are riding on a trail.
First, we need to make sure we yield to hikers, runners, and horses. Whenever we see a hiker, runner, or horse on the trail, we pull to the side and stop. Don't keep riding through the grass. This will create an additional trail that is not good for our trails. After the other person passes, we can continue riding.
When on a trail that is wide like a sidewalk, we always ride down on the right side. This is exactly the same etiquette of following on riding sidewalks or bike paths. If you come behind someone on the trail who is going slower than you, greet them nicely and say, "On your left," as you are passing them. Don't just ride around them off the trail. This can scare them and could cause an accident. Be patient, wait for them to stop completely, and then ride around them.
Finally, when we come across other bikers going the opposite direction, there's one person who will always need to yield. That is the rider who's going downhill. We want to yield to the uphill rider because it is harder to get started or keep going when you're going uphill. Downhill riders can get started easily. If you are on flat ground, it is good to practice to make good eye contact with the other rider and yield for them. Remember, patience goes a long way when seeing other people on trails.